I was a Muslim 2.5 years ago, and I am a doctor. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in June, and for 3 weeks. 1 month. In fact, I was very, very bad until I heard about Jesus. What? I had heard about it before, but then I was really touched by a video like this one night at my house. So I became interested in this person, and in fact I had cried for 3 weeks of sadness, and now I was crying of love, and I didn't understand. So I watched a lot of video testimonies about Jesus, and the same evening, it was July 11, 2018, I got down on my knees in my room for the first time in my life before God, and I begged for 20 minutes, Jesus, if you really exist. It's not enough for me to hear about you. I want to see you. And I want to see you in a way that I will never doubt you again in my life. And actually, for 20 minutes, I waited, I begged on my knees, and nothing happened. I went back to my bed, and there I heard a voice that told me, turn around, and I made my rebel. I said, but there is nothing. There is a white wall behind me, and I heard a second time, turn around. Very strongly. And there I turned around, and in fact, above my bed, I took several steps back because there was the head of Jesus, in fact, and huge, and in fact, in his eyes, his eyes are not like ours. In fact, there is not a deer what? There is all the universes in his eyes. And in fact, he looked at me, he pierced my heart, and in fact, there I had an inner emergency, which for a Muslim is incomprehensible. That is to say, it did not come from my mind. I had to get baptized as soon as possible, so the next day I looked everywhere to get baptized. I looked at churches on the internet. I was in front of churches. I was posted there. It was July 12th, and it didn't speak my heart. I said, no, 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 Catholics, Protestants, no, no. And at the end of the day, I said to Jesus, you gave me that desire, so guide me. And so he actually guided me to people doing baptisms in lakes, pools, stuff. And so I was baptized on July 13, 2018. And there I really saw, because in fact I'm a psychiatrist, addictologist, and I didn't believe too much in spirits, all that. And there I saw spirits come out of me, etc. So I said,
You mind coming a little, huh? You mind coming?
what?
Can you come? Is it possible?
Yes, I can, but there it is.
When they talk about Jesus here, there, wow, Jesus, wait, wonderful, wonderful to me.
So I continue, so there I saw spirits come out of me, and I go home. It was July 13th, and there in my bed I began to speak a language I understood nothing of. And here I say, but what is this? And in fact, I was told afterwards it is to speak in language, but among Muslims it does not exist. So I had never heard of speaking in a language, and it lasted 3/4 of an hour, 1 hour. I spoke a language and I understood 0 word, and in fact I felt an energy rising from my stomach. And I took like that, and I threw, in fact it lasted 3/4 of an hour, 1 hour, and there after 3/4 of an hour, 1 hour, I stopped speaking, and I had pain for 4 years every day, and there for the first time in 4 years, no more pain.
Wow.
And so there I said, okay, I'm cured, it's good. I made an appointment with my gynecologist on July 17th, and I arrive and I show him the additional examinations, the tumor markers, the pelvic MRI, and he tells me, okay, listen, then it's a very severe disease. We're going to operate. We're going to get treatment, etc. And then I look at him with a smile and I tell him, you don't know what? What I'm going to tell you, I'm cured, and here and there he tells me how I don't understand. He listened to me anyway because I'm a doctor. I have a practice right next to his house. What? So he knew it didn't matter. And then I tell him, but I'm actually healed. And he says to me, well, because denial in medicine exists a lot, he told me, okay, let's do the ultrasound. In fact, he is giving me an ultrasound. And his mouth was open. So, in fact, I had it. He passes over the left ovary. There he tells me, in slow motion, normal left ovary. And then he passes over the right ovary. And he tells me, there are 2 images. I say, yeah. And he tells me, but wait, it's maturing follicles. So, in fact, the maturing follicles is what gives the eggs, and I didn't have any anymore. So, in fact, there I was, my ovaries were dead, and they came back to life. Oh. And then he removes the probe, and he tells me, you get dressed. You're going to explain to me what happened. And so I basically tell him that I met Jesus 6 days before he healed me. And in fact, wherever I go, wherever the Lord is with me, miracles happen. And that's what I say. In fact, I have only been a Christian for 2.5 months. And I see the brothers and sisters, they dare not talk about Jesus. They are ashamed of him. I say, but I'm going to the hairdresser. There are hairdressers who are cured. I go to the bakery. I actually like that expression a lot. In fact, I say that the Lord is the antidote to everything, and the whole world has poison. That is to say that they do not know Jesus. I am 33 years old and have waited 33 years to hear about Jesus. But I wish someone would come and tell me about Jesus. Just told me, but wait for the solution to all your problems, your unhappiness and everything. It is Jesus the solution. But no one around me. I had no Christians around me. So in my family, they are all Muslims and some people atheists. And in fact, they don't understand at all what is happening. But I wanted to tell you that I see miracles every day. Every day, every day. They are wonders of God. I'm going to tell you just a few days ago what happened, because I have to choose and I can't tell you everything. So there is my family who were in Algeria all summer. They returned. And there is my uncle. He has severe osteoarthritis in his knees. And I arrived and I told what happened this summer. And they told me, yeah, it's okay. You stop telling us about Jesus. Already they were tolerant. They agreed to listen. And there I actually see my uncle. He limps. He has osteoarthritis. And there I say to him, Uncle, can I pray for you? He told me no. And my aunt told him, well, why? What do you have to lose? Let's see if what she says is true. Says, okay. And there the Lord gave me the verse, where he resurrects a woman and he actually brings everyone out. So I actually took my uncle, I took him out of the living room and I prayed for him. And I actually said to him, how much pain do you have? He told me 7 out of 10. He was limping, and so I took the Lord and the Lord healed him. He tells me, but I don't hurt at all. And there he starts running all over the house. A few days later, I return to the family. And then he tells me, Namin, you won't believe me. I saw my ophthalmologist. In fact, he sees his ophthalmologist twice a year. And for his glaucoma. So glaucoma is a chronic disease. It's lifelong. It's like diabetes. And he told me, the ophthalmologist, he didn't understand. I no longer have glaucoma. He told him I can't stop the 2 treatments because that's it, but I'll stop 1 out of 2 next time. If there's nothing left, we'll stop the second one. And so that was my uncle and my father, who is 80 years old, Muslim for 80 years. I went to see him. It's been a very long time since I went to see him, at least 6 months, a year. I went to see him last Thursday. And in fact, I told him what happened to me. He was cured. I prayed for him. He was cured of his tinnitus, his buzzing. He had for 10 years more tinnitus. He had back pain. He couldn't go out without a belt, no belt. I took him out without a belt. He saw double. He had a diplopia. He saw double when he didn't put his glasses, more diplopia. And there at the end of 02, no, he told me it's okay. The next day, Friday. No, it wasn't yesterday. It was last Friday. Friday I arrived. So the next day, in fact, there he tells me everything we said there, you forget, it was nonsense. You talked to me more about Jesus. I was shocked. I say, good, okay. And there in my head, after 2 minutes, I say, no, 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 no. It's not going to happen like that. And this really, brothers and sisters, is a super important thing. Do you pray? But we must also proclaim what is written in the Word. And therefore, in my head, I said, I proclaim that it belongs to Jesus. I proclaim that it belongs to Jesus. And therefore, I proclaimed. And there he tells me I have a heavy head and everything. And I say, I saw the opportunity. I say, I can pray for you. And he tells me, no, 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 you don't approach me. And so, in fact, three times in a row, in all 1, all 0 can be 3 times. I asked him for the 3rd time, and he asked me how long it would take. I tell him 5 seconds. I say, okay. He tells me, okay. So I put my hand like that. I look for spirits in the name of Jesus. And there he sneezes, but disproportionately. And there he looks at me, and he tells me, let's go. I say, yeah. And he tells me, do you think it has something to do with your prayer? I said, totally. And suddenly we went back to talking about Jesus. I took it out, we left. I was together, it's been 20 years, Lala. It's been 20 years since we went out together. And in fact, I talked to him about baptism in After 12. And in After 12, he told me, okay, I'm okay to be baptized. So there I was there. I said, I'm going to baptize you in my bathtub, but I didn't want to do it alone. So I wrote to brothers and everything. Oh, my father, he wants to be baptized, you know. And so I have a brother who came, and at 9 last Friday, I baptized my father. And this is to really tell you that nothing is impossible. He is 80 years old and never a Muslim. So after my conversion, the Lord had given me a vision where I baptized my father. I said, okay, Lord, but wow. And actually what happened? So really, do not lose hope with your families. Everything is possible. For us, it is impossible, but for the Lord, it is possible. And this is really your life. Sounds like the Acts of the Apostles. So really, don't be ashamed to talk about Jesus. What's it gonna cost you? Going to the bakery? You know, I'm in my car, and even on the ring road. I have people, actually, I praise the Lord. I erased all my world music there and put praises, and so I sing and everything. And even on the ring road, there are people, they pass on the ring road, they do this to me, and I open my window and I say to them, Jesus, Jesus, the answer, and that's it. And actually that, frankly, yes, me as a doctor. And coming from a Muslim family, I take the risk, you who have your family, etc., who believes. But dare you talk about Jesus all the time, because here it is, I have an image that came to me. It is limit non-assistance to anyone in danger. In fact, not talking about Jesus, it is the antidote of antidotes to everything. And really, when you discover an antidote and someone in front of you has the poison, well, you don't keep the antidote for yourself, which is selfish, so you have to share it. And just now I arrived, I spoke with Laurent, and it touched me a lot, because when I was little, actually, when I was asked what job you want to do, I said Mother Teresa. And in a Muslim family, can you imagine? And they told me, no, it's not going to be possible. No, you're changing. And so I said, good, well, okay, I'm going to be a doctor. And in fact, it's incredible how the Lord is doing to organize things. And suddenly, when Laurent spoke to me about the orphanage just now, I feel that I have a strong call for it. And lo and behold, we will see how the Lord does things. But there you go. God loves you very much, and believe.